Hi everybody, my name is Joyee and I'm located at Thinque Prep in Southern California. Here we help students with all levels of test preparation as well as college admissions counseling. And today I will be reacting to and discussing the top 10 undergraduate majors as per collegevine.com. So I'll be considering 3 different categories. The first will be overall median salary for that major. The second will be job satisfaction rate. We'll also be looking at potential for job opportunities and job growth as you get into your career in the future. And then from my perspective, I'll be chiming in on how I view the undergraduate application process for these majors. So coming in number 10, we have English language and English literature. I think when a lot of people think about these majors, they go, wah wah, the student doesn't have anything better to do, they're studying English, good for them. But in reality, there are a lot of job opportunities you can have as an English language major. You can go into marketing, you can go into communications, you can go into public relations. A lot of people don't realize the importance of being able to communicate through written language as well as verbal language. So these English majors definitely have a leg up when it comes to those types of jobs. Another thing you can do if you're ferociously passionate about the English language is you can study creative writing or poetry in college and become a writer in the future. It's not the easiest job, but there are some really famous authors out there who've made a really good living for themselves. The median salary for these majors is $53,000, so if you really love what you can do, there are definitely opportunities that you can build your own career as an English major. Coming in at number 8 and 9 are elementary education and general education. So definitely this major has my heart because I'm an educator at heart as well. However, the median salary can be really low. We have it coming in at $43,000 to $46,000. So as many people know, if you go into public teaching, teachers are overworked and underpaid. So you really have to love what you do in order to do this. The other downside about this profession is it can be really hard to find your first job if you don't specialize in anything. Elementary educators can spend years just subbing until they find their full-time career at any sort of elementary school or middle school. So if you really want to become a younger student teacher, be prepared for hustling a lot. On the plus side though, teaching is listed as one of the 10 most satisfying jobs out there. It truly is rewarding when you get students and they really respect you and they work with you and then you see their eyes light up when you come into the classroom. There's no other feeling like that. One of the reasons the income for teachers is significantly lower than that of other professions is because it is a female-dominated field, and we know that females tend to earn about 80 cents on the dollar for their male counterparts. So unfortunately, you will have to hustle if you really love this profession. However, as a teacher, there are outside opportunities. You can tutor on the side. You can find ways of uploading your material to websites like Teachers Pay Teachers. And here's an interesting side note. The suicide rate for teachers is actually one of the lowest across all professions, so we can see that the job satisfaction rate is really high here. So if you're planning to go to undergrad and get your degree in education, make sure you find a school that allows you to get both your bachelor's degree as well as your teaching credential. A lot of students don't think about this early on, so by the time they graduate, then they realize they'll need to do their student teaching hours, and for many states it can be 1,000 or even 2,000 student teaching hours, and that could delay your diving into education by 1 or 2 years even. Coming in at number 7, we have marketing and marketing research. So marketing is one of those big buzzwords. It falls under the category of business, and everybody wants to do it because they want to, help sell everything in the world. We do have a higher median salary at $63,000. And definitely if you get in with the right firm right after you graduate, you can have a high starting salary. The thing is with marketing though is that everything's constantly changing. So if you do go into marketing, you have to be willing to update yourselves on all the ongoing trends in the world right now. Like even 20 years ago, people didn't even know that social media was going to be the biggest way to market items. But now all these marketing people have to invest time and energy into learning how to use social media. Like who knows what the thing is going to be 20 years from now. If you plan to go into marketing, please check with the school to see under what major marketing falls under. For example, at some schools marketing may fall under the business major category. And as a business major, you're going to have to take a lot of quantitative classes like calculus and stats. So if you're not the best math person and do want to study marketing, maybe you want to find a school where marketing is in its own category. Coming in at number 6, we have communications and mass media. So this major is the butt of a lot of jokes also because a lot of athletes at college major in communications because it's known as the easy major. Communications is a great major if you do want to go into business-related fields. You can go into project management, you can go to PR, you can go into social media management. So this is the softer side of business, whereas a business major would be very quantitative heavy and deal with things like accounting and finance and stuff like that. So if you do have an eye for business, but do want to work on the more communication side of it, this would be a great major for you. The median salary for this major is $54,000, and there are lots of job opportunities for people who are willing to be creative. And this is a field that's growing, especially in the digital age. Employment is expected to grow by 4% by the year 2029. So if you have a knack for writing, maybe you want to be a journalist, maybe you want to work in some sort of way of communicating, you should definitely think about communications. Coming in at number 5, we have psychology. I feel like every student I work with wants to major in psychology. And it has its plus sides and its minus sides. So people want to go into psychology because they want to become a therapist, or they want to become a psychiatrist, or maybe they want to become a social worker. They have this innate need to want to help people. However, getting just your bachelor's in psychology is not enough. If you do want to become one of those things that I just mentioned, you're going to need to plan to get your master's or even your PhD. So the road to education is going to be a long one and a very expensive one. With just a BA in psychology, you should anticipate a median salary of $49,000. That's because if you only have your bachelor's, there are not a lot of job opportunities out there for you. You can't be a clinical psychologist, so you're going to be stuck doing a lot of research or something psychology related that way. And if you do major in psychology, please make sure you get a lot of research experience as well as clinical experience, because you're going to need that if you plan to apply to grad school. At number 4, we have the field of nursing. So here in California, nursing is one of the most impacted majors. Impact means that a bunch of people want to apply for the major and there's very, very few spots available. So what I tell students who want to apply to nursing is you have to want to become a nurse. You have to have this gut instinct inside of you that says, okay, if I'm not going to become a nurse, there's no other option for me. Just because here it's such a crowded field. So if you're in California watching this and do want to become a nurse, think about applying to schools outside of California too, because you're really limiting yourself if you just stick in California. The median salary is $66,000, but definitely the ceiling of job earnings is really, really high as you get different degrees and advance in your career. In fact, as a nurse, you can become a nurse practitioner who has a lot of the same responsibilities of a doctor, but a lot of times the career of nurse practitioner is so much more flexible than that of a doctor. You don't have to do like 26-hour shifts, you may not have to do overnights, but you still get to treat patients. And you don't have to spend as many years studying as doctors do. The fields of nurse practitioner and physician's assistant are two of the fastest growing fields in employment right now, especially because they're one of the newer fields out there. So if you're looking for job security, nursing is one of the ways to go. And there's going to be an incredibly low unemployment rate of 0.9%, so you can bet on job security. By 2029, the field is expected to grow by 31%. And being a nurse practitioner and being a physician's assistant, you can actually make over $100K easily. So this is a field that when students come to me and think about being a doctor, I also talk to them about this, because being a doctor is not the only way for you to enter the field of health science. Coming in at number 3, we have accounting. So this is the quantitative side of business. If you're good with numbers and you're good with organization and spreadsheets, this is the major for you. As a median salary, you should expect to earn $69,000. The employment opportunities are expected to grow 10% by 2029. So if you really love numbers, definitely think about accounting. If you don't though, here's something to think about. Many business programs do require accounting as a class that you need to pass and graduate from that major. One of the downsides of accounting though is that it is a very cut and dry job. You're expected to do the same thing over and over again, and you're very likely going to work in a place where you're going to work in a cubicle. Now for me, a cubicle job was not a job I wanted, but for people who like repetition and stability, accounting definitely is a job to consider. The other downside for accounting is tax season. The months of January through April can be crazy hectic for accountants. But if you're okay with dealing with that level of stress, then accounting is a possible job opportunity for you. And with accounting, you can decide two ways. You can choose to work for yourself and have your own flexibility to schedule your own hours, or you can choose to work for the corporate world too. So don't feel like you need to commit to a job in corporate America just because you majored in accounting. So coming in at the top two positions, we have general business and business administration. So whenever I have students come into my office and I ask, hey, what do you want to study? Then they go, well, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll study business. So it seems to me within the past 10 years or so, the idea of undecided has gradually morphed into the idea of business major. Because, hey, isn't everybody doing something in business anyways? So when students are undecided and are thinking about business, I have them look through the curriculum for a lot of these colleges. Because the truth is, a lot of colleges have caught on to the fact that a lot of students want to major in business. I think the statistic is something crazy, like 15% of college majors are in business right now. But with these general business majors, they kind of just throw together 20 different classes. So you have accounting, you have supply chain maybe, real estate, social media management. And so by the time you graduate, you just have this general knowledge of all these different fields of business, but don't really specialize in anything. And for a lot of businesses, that's not a desirable skill set that they want from a graduate. There are schools, however, that offer specialized concentrations within the field of business. Take Indiana University, for example. They have over a dozen concentrations. So they do have just accounting, they do have just entrepreneurship, just supply chain management, international business. So if you're truly thinking about majoring in business, I would challenge you to look within the subfields of business to see, is there something that is catered toward your skill set, or if there's something that truly excites you, because business is large and vast. I remember Mark Cuban, the multi-billionaire investor, once said that he'd rather hire a grad from a liberal arts college than somebody who got a general business major, because a liberal arts college grad has a better skill set for critical thinking, whereas a general business major just knows how to do a bunch of random stuff. So that's definitely something to think about. On the plus side though, a business grad can earn a median salary of $63,000 to $65,000 per year. And if you do go to a school with a decent business major as well as a good career counseling center, you can get hired by a Fortune 500 firm, work in corporate America, get a decent salary. However, if you're looking to explore within a bunch of different fields like entrepreneurship or something else like that, do not feel that you need to major in business. You can go after something that you truly are passionate about and still go into business after you graduate, because at the end of the day, we are all doing business in our jobs. So for some of you watching this, I'm willing to guess that you're a high school student who's completely undecided in what they want to study. And that's okay. You can be undecided. Up to 90% of students may change their major during their undergraduate years. So if you're thinking about undecided school, look for schools that have maybe an individualized study program, or look for schools that allow you flexibility when you're doing your general education requirements. If you're truly undecided, the last thing you want to happen is go to a school that has really, really strict major requirements, decide to change your major, and then have to spend an extra year at that college because you accidentally changed your mind. So one of the things that we do here to help students is we offer career aptitude tests. So definitely, if you're one of those undecided high school students, feel free to reach out to your high school guidance counselor to see if they offer anything like that. Over here at Thinque Prep, if you do one of our career counseling tests, it helps you figure out what kind of careers you'd be best suited to based off of your intellectual skills as well as your social skills. It also recommends a bunch of majors that you can focus on if you do want to pursue some of the careers that they recommend for you. Thanks for watching this video. If you've decided what you're majoring in, or if you're already doing that major and have some pros and cons to list, feel free to comment below. Also, you can leave any questions you may have below for us to answer. And if you did find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.